Matt, go ahead.
All right. Hey, Coach, how would you put this week into perspective? How much it meant for your team?
Well, it couldn't have come at a better time, obviously. We know what we're capable of. It's hard winning in this league. I mean, you look at what's going on around the league right now. The teams that maybe didn't win as much as the other teams the first four weekends, they were all winning this weekend for the most part, and in a big way. We're one of them. So the league is super balanced. There's no margin for error. I feel very fortunate to win today. I mean, the players they hung in there and they fought, and pitchers did a great job of getting out of a couple of jams, and we scratched across just enough runs. We didn't play great, but we found a way.
I wanted to ask you something about your bullpen. First was the jam that Gabe Gekckle got himself out of in the bottom of the seventh inning. Just what were your thoughts about how well he pitched through that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shocked us there with a single and a double on about three pitches. All of a sudden, they got a couple of runs out there that it's it, with just a few innings to go, and for him to hang in there and he got a pop up and I don't know, a strikeout, fly ball, whatever he got. Just did a tremendous job. We put a couple of guys, put a guy on base, and then I think he went 3-1 on the hitter, and you're thinking, oh boy, he's going to maybe walk somebody in, or this could happen. And that's always the fear when you put somebody on that loads the bases, is the possible hit by pitch or the ball four that can walk in a run. And he fought back and got through it. And man, our team was fired up about it. And I know that had to be a big bummer for them over there, and probably took a little bit of wind out of their sails, so to speak. And we were fired up, came in. I don't know. Then we got a double. I don't know if it was that inning or the next inning. We got a lead off double. We ended up scoring a run, and it was enough.
And then Ethan McIlvaine, you mentioned the other night he was just a little off with his pitches, but he came out, felt like guns a-blazing. Those fastballs were really impressive that first inning. Just what do you think about how he recycled so quickly and was able to give you two great innings today?
Yeah, just a great job. I talked to him at breakfast on Saturday morning. We talked about the outing, because it wasn't one of his best, obviously, from what we had been seeing. And I just said, you think you'll be ready to go? He goes, I can get myself ready. So he probably was a little sore. And I said, well, we're going to try not, we're not planning on throwing you today, but you can get ready for tomorrow. And that's kind of what ended up happening. And I think that extra day obviously helped him have that stamina. And he made the comment too to me that he goes, "What happened last night isn't going to happen again." And so, he knew that he didn't throw well for one reason or another, but boy, he threw well today.
Jackson, go ahead. Hey, Dave, what'd you think of Tay Maguire's start today?
He did a nice job for us, and I mean, gave up a few hits, and he walked a couple people, but he didn't let him get the big hit, and that's what we did all weekend. We pitched around some of that stuff, and they ended up leaving 12 on today. We only left seven on, but we got one more in than they did, and that's what matters, bottom line. And but I thought Tate did a good job. I would have liked to have gotten one more inning out of him, but we just felt like that, he was trying to make a move, and Coyle came in, slowed him down for two innings, and he probably could have gone another inning, but we didn't want to overdo it. And then Gage came in and did what he did. So really, really good day by four veteran pitchers that said, "Jump on our back, man. We're not going to let them score." And we found a way to win.
How much of like today's success on the mound can kind of be go back to Friday and just Dietz giving you length and those guys, no one having to pitch, more than two innings on Friday?
Yeah, I talk about it almost every day. That everything matters. Even if you get beat, get into their bullpen, help you win a game down the road. Same with on our side of it. And being able to have a pitcher go as long as Dietz did, saved us, and then came back and won the game. And everybody slept good Friday night. Looking forward to Saturday. It changes a lot of things.
How much of a spark was Helfrich's triple there to get the offense going? And, just a guy 90 feet away instead of 180, it puts a little bit more pressure on him, right?
Oh yeah, big time. That ball was smashed. I mean, so was the next ball. That ball would have been way out of the park. I mean, the metrics on that say home run every time. And then New did the same thing. He crushed that ball into the teeth of that wind. And, I figured between the two teams, I think we would have definitely hit 4 home runs and they would have hit 2. And the last ball that was hit, it might have gone out if there was no wind. I don't know. He hit it off the end of the bat, but he did get extension. But the wind played a big part in the game today, as far as keeping the score down. And but yeah, Ryder stretching that from a double to a triple was big. And then we obviously we tied it or cut the lead in half, and you could just kind of feel that they were going, "Oh man, this is happening again to us," because it was like 3 of the same games. They're up 1 or 2 and then they couldn't get the big hit. We'd get them out, and then we catch them and we beat them.
Any chatter you could hear in the dugout, like eighth inning rolls around, but based off the previous two eighth innings, and only one run, but it ended up being the game winner.
Oh, a little bit, eighth inning. Here we go. Let's put it away in the eighth. Stuff like that. Heard a little chatter coming out of their dugout early, but it slowed down a little bit.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, what did you see specifically from McIlvain? Because he was really just right there at the plate, especially in the eighth inning.
Yeah, just with him, it's almost like you don't try to nibble. You just set up down the middle and let that talent go to work and let that ball run left and right, cut, rise, whatever. It doesn't rise, but it seems like it does. And man, he was just pounding the zone. He threw a couple high pitches, but other than that, I mean, it was good stuff. Just from the side, it looked electric. It's hot, sunny day. We're not under the lights, clear as can be here, and it looked hard.
Your RPI could use some juice, and I think this weekend you got some juice out of it. What do you think this might do for you guys in terms of the metrics, RPI
Yeah,
metrics and
that
stuff?
should help us a lot. I don't even know where we were. I heard we were in the 50s. I tried not to look at it. I was trying to keep my head down and try to figure out how to win a game. Um, I imagine we probably jumped 20 points, I would guess, somewhere in there.
Yeah. And then Jackson kind of got my eighth inning question, but the fact that you had really erupted in those 2 innings speaks to what your offense is capable of late. Can you maybe speak to, for the weekend, what the eighth inning did for you guys?
Yeah, it a lot of really good at bats, fouling off pitches, um, tough out, advancing runners, but they it just seemed like that the at bats were doing something for the offense. They weren't, if there was a runner at second, no outs, we'd get him to third, somebody get a double, and then next guy to get a single or whatever. We just kept moving people, and they weren't able to strike us out. Really, we just kept making contact and pretty good contact. And yeah, I don't know, just build a little confidence. When you come back, we were behind all 3 games, came back and won all 3 games. That's a good sign.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
And that wrap us up. We're gonna get Gekckle and Mlane on here before we get out of here.
Okay, I think Cam had a hit in every eighth inning rally that you had this weekend. What'd you think about his at bat in particular today? That 2-out double that gave you the lead.
Yeah, it was a fastball. It was a little, I think it was fastball. It was a little elevated wherever it was, and he really turned on it. And I'm down at that end of the dugout with Coach Thompson, and we could tell that it was going to be a really tough hop for that first baseman. And I don't know if he got to it, he kind of fell down after that. Ball was down the line, but he hit it hard and he hit it down the line. And obviously, it's pretty exciting because all of a sudden, here we go. I think, we feel like we're going to win the game, and we felt like McIlvain was going to come in and shut the door, and that's what he did.
This is the first time you've ever had a team, or Arkansas's ever had a team that swept in Tuscaloosa. It's been a place that's been kind of difficult for your guys to play. Given that and the fact that they had that long winning streak, I just wonder, is this a little bit more of a surprising sweep?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to sweep anybody, much less sweep on the road and a top 10 team that's won 18 in a row at home. So I guess you could say it's a little surprising. I'm not surprised that we won the series, and then we had an opportunity to sweep. And, I think that sometimes when you're on the other end of this, I think about that loss to Florida. We lost 7-6. We had 3 balls that would have went out of the park that day, but the monsoon was blowing in from right. Sometimes you just shake your head and you say it wasn't our weekend. But yeah, I was just really proud of the way the team played. And, even if we'd have lost today, man, they were into it and they wanted to win it. They weren't satisfied. So that was really good to see.
You turn around in a couple of days and play UAPB down in North Little Rock. It seems like these in-state teams that you're playing, it's a lot tougher midweek draw than it was 3 or 4 years ago. Any thoughts on that and how UAPB is, at least in their conference, has taken a step forward?
Oh yeah, the teams are just older. Kids are transferring around, moving around, getting another year, whatever. And but UAPB, this is one of the best teams they've had in a while. And I mean, they've already beat Little Rock. I think they might have beat UCA. I don't know, but we've been keeping up with them. They've been scoring runs or throwing strikes, and yeah, it'll be a battle down there in Little Rock. And we're coming off a very emotional series, traveling back. And we'll have tomorrow, then we'll travel on Tuesday. So our guys are going to have to regroup pretty fast.
All right. Thank you.
Skip,
Okay.
appreciate your time.